I'm going to be reviewing the Sportiva Baruntse Double Mountaineering boots for you. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Sportiva Double Mountaineering boots. These are some seriously hardcore boots meant for 6,000 and 7,000 meter peaks in pretty cold conditions. Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Before I go on, if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment below and also subscribe to the channel to support it. Thank you very much. So let's get right into it. These double mountaineering boots are pretty hardcore. As you can see, it kind of looks like something built by NASA. If you've never seen mountaineering boots and all this sort of craziness, these are really incredible. I climbed both Mount Elbrus in Russia, the tallest mountain in Europe, and also Mount Hood on a super chilly day. I've used these in minus 18-degree temperatures in Wyoming, and I still have all my toes, so not too shabby. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the different features and what the value of this boot really is for you in your mountaineering exploration. So what is a double boot? Let's get right into that. Well, you can see this boot here. It looks pretty singular, but if I lift this up, you can see that the boot actually comes out of the boot. And so what they mean by a double mountaineering boot is that this inner boot, which is thermally formed, you can see my ankle dents here. This boot, inner boot, thermally forms to your foot and becomes a second boot inside of the hard shell on the outer part. Now, classic mountaineering boots like single leather jobs just aren't going to be warm enough for the extreme altitude peaks. Now, these aren't 8,000 meter peaks like Annapurna and Everest, but these are good on 6,000 and 7,000 meter peaks. And I was very happy to have these on Mount Elbrus in Russia. I think it's 5,800 meters, give or take, but sitting around waiting for everybody to get ready at night, my feet got a little chilly, so that's a little bit of thing. So let me show you the different aspects of these boots and why they might be interesting to you. The first thing is a big consideration. How much do these boots weigh? All right, so let's fire this up real quick. And these boots weigh 3 pounds and 7 ounces, maybe 3 pounds and 8 ounces. For my gram-loving friends, 1,582 grams, or 1.6 kilos. They're pretty heavy. So when you put these on, it's literally like wearing workout weights. I mean, it's pretty hardcore to be able to hoof these around. But in order to keep your feet from freezing at high altitude, this is what you need. So let's look at the different features of this boot. And you can see this lacing system, it's pretty standard, but one of the nice things on here is they have a locking lace. And let me click that in. All right, and let me click this one on. Oh, it's already clicked in. And this is pretty slick because these locks allow you to tighten up the foot area and then click down, and it prevents the laces from slipping down. So as you're fumbling to put on the laces on your shin area above your ankle, the laces down in your foot area don't loosen up. So that's a super nice feature about these boots, is that lace lock pops and gets ready to go. And I've used that as soon as I get my laces set and I pop those in, I'm like, all right, phase one, because it's very easy to do that when you're comfortable at home and no problems. But when you're up on a mountain having trouble breathing and your head's a little funny, that is a really good feature. Now you can see around the boot, this is a rubber liner that, actually not a liner, rubber outer shell, I guess you would call it. And that helps protect your boot against marring against crampons. We'll get into crampons in just a moment. So this rubber that goes all the way around the boot, you can see it there, keeps you from putting holes in your very expensive mountaineering boots. I'll put links to these below and all the other items that I have in this video. On the upper part of the boot here are 3 boot clasps. I don't know the official word for these, but they work pretty well. No problems. It's easy to get the laces in there. The metal studs in here that hold all the laces, They seem to have survived just fine. You can see little scuff marks and areas on my boots where I've dinged them up a bit, but so far they've survived pretty well. Now the inner boot is pretty interesting because you can see this funky lace system here. So what you do is you put your foot into the boot, and I'll show that in a moment. You put your foot into the boot, you get it in there, and then you simply pull on this a little bit, pull on the laces, wrap around, and put the Velcro on here, and that's literally it. So that's really nice. Instead of having to tie up the inside of the boot and tie a little shoelace knot like this and going mad with your gloves, you literally just put your foot in there, lace around, and voila, your inner boot is set. It is a brilliant system. I really love that. Now, as far as dimensions of this boot, let me get some measurements here for you. And this is a size 47, so it's kind of big, but that is 13 3/4 inches long, and it is to the top about 10 inches tall. So that it's definitely a sizable boot. When you put this thing on, you know you're wearing something. Now, typically what I do is when I'm camping, I take this boot liner out and I put it into my sleeping bag so that way it can dry out at night. Also, you can put 40 below camp booties in here to hoof around camp. That's pretty nice. I've seen these boots on Denali as well. They work pretty well, but at high camp where it's super cold, you may have to consider getting some 40 below over boots on top of this just because it's so cold. And that's why I bought my Malay Everest, just because certain mountains are just pretty crazy cold, and that's just what you're gonna have to deal with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over and show you what it's like to put these boots on and what the fit and form feels like. You can see that the shell of this boot, there's a whole lot to it, but again, it's just this plastic carbon fiber rubber sort of shell and the inner boot here. And so what I simply do is put my liner in here and put my foot in there, and to snug up the laces inside, I just give them a little wiggle, not that much big of a deal. Wrap this around and snug it up here, and that's it. Inside is literally ready to go. And as far as the laces on the boot go, I don't wear them too tight climbing up unless I'm doing something pretty sketchy. And then just get these locked in here. There we go. Okay. So with a single sock, they feel a little bit loose, but once I put my double sock system on there, it works pretty well. And then to put the cramp on, I'm going to get my foot away so I don't put a hole in my foot. Flopping around with the cramp on is quite the ordeal. Just simply hook that on in here, click here, and then come around. And each crampon design's different. These gravels fit very well on here, and I never have a problem with them. That's why I use them. All right. Flip that around just so it stays taut, and then I just put a little extra loop on here to keep lace done, and I might tie that in again. But there you go, that is the boot with the cramp on. You can see the fit there. It's a little bit awkward and now incredibly dangerous, but that's the nice part about the rubber around the boot, is even when you kick into your boot, you're not going to put a hole into your expensive boot and then into you. Hopefully this little review about the La Sportiva Baruntse GTX double mountaineering boot has been helpful to you. Definitely think about it. Go to the store, go to a local store and try them on, or you can order them from Amazon, try them on, go back and forth, however you want to do that. I've used these in super cold conditions. They have worked very well. It's a bit of a slog to walk up and down a mountain. I did notice too that these boots, when it got too warm, my feet started to slip around a bit, so I probably wish I would have gotten the 46 and dealt with a little bit of tightness. But if your boots are too tight, it's going to be unpleasant. Also, make sure to do the kick test. Kick once, your toe shouldn't hit. Kick twice, your toe will probably hit a little bit. Kick 3 times, you're like, whoa! If you kick the first time and your toe hits, the boots are too small. But if you get them too big, they flop around. I have wide feet, so that works pretty well. My name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Thank you very much for watching. All the links are below. Please like and comment on this video. Let me know how I'm doing. And also subscribe to the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.